Hey everyone, this is Pretty Little Garden and I am Jen. I'm a home gardener based in Western New York, Zone 6B, and I enjoy growing and learning every day in my garden, and I also enjoy sharing my experiences with you. I'd like to motivate and inspire, and if you learn something along the way, that just warms my heart as well. It is late, very late May. It's May 29th, it's a Thursday, and I've got my dog Lucy right down here. She's wanting me to pet her. If you see my arms kind of moving around, but May has flown by. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. I feel like May just came and went so very quickly, and there's always so much to do in the garden, and sometimes obviously you have to prioritize, family and other commitments, and you may not always be on track with what you want to do in your garden. And I'm here to tell you, I'm the first one to tell you that that is okay. That is okay. Move along at your own pace, and don't worry if you're a little bit late in planting something out, or if you are, you never get to those seeds that you wanted to get to this year. There's always next year. Sorry, I had to move my camera a little bit because it was falling over on me. Anyway, I'm just going to take you through my garden and show you some things that are looking good in the very late May garden. I'd love to share those with you. It's been a very busy month, like I had mentioned. You know, I have three boys, and my oldest son is a sophomore in college, and he just came home for the summer. So, I enjoy having him home, and it's nice to be able to see him every day, and we have dinner together and all of those things, which is, has been wonderful. And he's, working for the summer. He's detailing cars. And I also have my middle son. My oldest son is Aiden. My middle son, his name is Everett, and he had he's been playing baseball, and it's his senior year, and he recently broke his arm at a baseball game, which was quite a traumatic event for him for sure. And let's see, starting out the beginning of this month, he went to prom with his girlfriend Lola, and that was the beginning, like I think the first Friday in May. The following week, he broke his arm, unfortunately, at a baseball game, a pretty traumatic event. He broke both bones in his left forearm. He's the shortstop for the baseball team, and he was going back, to try to make a catch and collided with the right fielder and broke his arm and had to have surgery. So that was the week of his last day of school. So he hurt his arm. It was like a Tuesday. I think it was May 6th, whatever that Tuesday was. And then he ended up having surgery the next day. He stayed in the hospital for 2 days. I stayed with him, and, missed his last day of school. Um, we came home that Thursday, and Friday was his prom. And he did, manage to go to his prom, which was great. It had been kind of a chaotic 48 hours, in the hospital, surgery, all these things. And it just was a lot, but he persevered and, made it through okay. He was able to go to his prom that Friday. And then there were so many things that happened after he, had this surgery, and he's trying to recover, but there were so many events that went on for him that week. He had his senior day, for baseball, and that was exciting. We celebrated his baccalaureate mass the following Tuesday, and then he graduated the following Thursday. Um, so there's been just a lot of events, but he made it through. We made it through as a family together, and he is on the road to recovery and healing. And my youngest son, he's a sophomore in high school, and he has had, just a busy month. He finished up track and field, and he is actually, today is his last day of school. So he's getting ready for summer vacation and all those things. And all great things, happening aside from my son breaking his arm. All great things. Oh, my son Tyler also made his confirmation. So we had his confirmation, and we celebrated that, and that was lovely. And there's been just a lot of family events going on. My niece's Holy Communion. We went to my other niece Molly's choral concert last night, and I have another niece who's graduating high school next month. We're going to be celebrating her. There's just so much going on, so much to be thankful for. But that means that sometimes I am in my garden, not as often. So I enjoy just leaning into my garden. Um, when I'm stressing, I enjoy leaning into my garden to provide that release, and that's to help me de stress. And I also enjoy leaning into my garden when I'm celebrating something or happy. So, um, I just think that's so awesome that, as gardeners, I'm sure you might share the same view that, we use our gardens to escape sometimes, we use our gardens to celebrate sometimes, and sometimes we use our gardens to help us deal with problems or work through something in our minds. The garden can provide all that and more, to us. And I just think that is just a special thing. It's a special thing. So join me as I walk around my May garden. It won't be a full garden tour, but I just want to show you a few things in my garden in the end of May that are looking especially beautiful. What are you doing, Luce? What are you doing? Would you like to go through the garden together? Let's show everybody what's looking good. I just wanted to show you what my front porch is looking like right now. This is my living wreath. You can see it's really filled out, so beautiful. This is from Kinsman Garden Company. I did a video on how I assembled this living wreath and planted it out, and I can link that down below. You can see I'm missing one viola or pansy there, and I'm going to have to fix that. But look at how beautifully this filled out. I really like how it looks on this front porch. And, sometimes the violas and the pansies can be quite delicate. So just having it, kind of protected here on the front porch, has helped the violas and the pansies to thrive. And they're not getting totally blasted by the sun. They do have a little bit of shade here too, which I think helps them as well. And I'm just going to bring you over here and we can take a look at my garden shelf. And my pansies have been beautiful here. They've been getting full and lush looking. I have all different colors. You can see it's kind of a windy day here. It's pretty rainy here too. That's another thing for the month of May here in Western New York. We have had so much rain that, aside from all the crazy things that have been happening in my household, there's been so much rain. There's been so many days where you just couldn't get out into the garden as well. Look at those colors. Look at that beautiful orange color. I love that. This was just one flat of pansies that I divided into several containers and I use them for my living wreath as well. But they have stayed so gorgeous and beautiful. And I remember that from last year too. And I just kind of leave them. I'll just add to my containers. Let's see. This is a geranium. It's a zonal geranium. Let's see if we can focus here. This is a light salmon zonal geranium, moonlight light salmon. I got this from my niece Emily for Mother's Day, which I thought was so thoughtful and kind. She got me a red geranium last year as well, and I had every intention. I tried to overwinter that, and it died on me, guys. So we're going to have to try again next year to overwinter my geranium, but I am in love with this light salmon color. Thank you so much, Emily. And as you can see, I do have a lot of empty pots here that are just waiting to be filled. But I did plant up earlier this month some more pansies and violas that have gotten more lush looking and just have beautiful color. So delicate and so beautiful. All the shades of purple. Beautiful. And I also have a Gerber daisy here that I got from my niece Samantha for Mother's Day. I have the most thoughtful and considerate nieces and nephews, I have to say. And Samantha, she is my goddaughter. She always thinks of me on Mother's Day with a beautiful card and always a beautiful flower. Love you, Samantha. Thank you, honey. And this is my, what I like to call my little cottage garden on the side of my house as we're going into the backyard. And this is where I planted out a lot of my winter sowing jugs. You can see here, this is a blue cushion English lavender, which it is actually, it's taken a while to really green out this year. You can see there's a lot of dead in the middle. That was not there last year. So I'm hoping I don't have to replace that. But in the front of the blue cushion English lavender, I have planted out some bachelor's button. These are bachelor's button the bride, which is a white bloom. So hoping that they do well and thrive and bloom. We have gotten so much rain, so the watering has not been an issue, but I do think we need some good sunshine, some good sunny days to get these bachelor's button, looking good here. And I also have some Shasta daisy that I planted out right in the center here. I think 1, 2, 3, 4 Shasta daisy, which is the white daisy bloom that I've also winter sowed. And I have another little bride bachelor's button, my sedum. Can't remember the name of this sedum, but I can put it up onto the screen. And just beyond that, I've planted out some blue boy bachelor's button. I had so many of those. Some of them I put in containers, and some of them I have planted out over here. You can see they're starting to bloom, almost starting to open up. You can see here. They're just getting ready. And I did plant out some early bird catmint, as you can see right here and right there. Just clumps of early bird catmint that I separated and divided from the hedge that I have in the backyard. So easy to separate and divide those clumps of early bird catmint, and you can pop them anywhere and they look good. And just in the back of the bachelor's button, I have some gold star Rebecca that's getting ready to shoot up some bloom stalks, and I have a echinacea back in there. And as you can see, I do have another blue boy, a couple more blue boy bachelor's button as well. And that is my side cottage garden. I have my emerald gaeta euonymus and my 2 trellises, and they're starting to, I have my clematis haldine that's grown all the way up the trellis and is getting ready to open up and bloom. You can see all the little buds are just getting ready to open up. And that's such a beautiful show. This is also a white bloom, this clematis haldine. And that's what I have on this other trellis as well. The blooms are especially beautiful, but I think right before it blooms is also just beautiful to look at and enjoy. And I just want to show you my generous gardener climbing rose. I have 2 of them on either side of this pergola arch, and they are looking gorgeous. I love the new red growth on a rose. Look at that. It's just so beautiful and healthy looking. And you can see it's putting out some buds that are going to open up soon. And so far, so good. All the leaves look really healthy. We've had so much rain, so I've really been hoping that, everything is looking okay, but so far, so good. I'm sure I'll deal with some issues at some point. Oh, hi, Lucy. Hi, Lou. It seems like every rose has an issue at some point, and we'll deal with those things when they happen, when they come. But for now, oh, absolutely beautiful. And this is the other generous gardener climbing rose. You can see the little blooms, little buds getting ready to bloom. Twombly's Red Sentinel Japanese Maple. And how gorgeous. Really beautiful, those leaves. I think we're going to keep this tree. I really do like it. I really don't want to show you, but I will. My hedge of emerald green arborvitae on this side is not looking good. Not quite sure what we're going to do here, but it's hurting. These are hurting, especially this one on the end here. You can see, I think this one is beyond gone. I don't know that we're going to rip these out this season because I have a graduation party that I'm trying to plan right now, so I don't see that being on my to-do list for quite a while, but kind of disappointed in ourselves. It was our fault. We mismanaged the watering, and sometimes things like that happen, so we're moving on. I did purchase a few different plants here that I want to plant out under my birch tree here. These are shade-loving plants, and I've wanted this plant for quite a while. It is, let's see if we can get this to focus, Pinka Blue Palminaria by Proven Winners. It's a part shade to shade plant, and it has such a beautiful texture, and it almost feels like it has a sandpaper feel to the leaf, but it starts off pink and then turns to blue. It says, flowers open pink and transition to blue in late spring. Silver speckling frosts the deep green leaves. Its attractive foliage can be enjoyed after the spring flowers are finished. So it's kind of done blooming, but I think that would be a great addition to the garden underneath this birch tree here. And this is my Sarah Bernhardt peony. I believe it's the Sarah Bernhardt. I have to double check and look at my garden notes, but look at, we've got such a large amount, throwing out all these buds, getting ready to open up, and I almost love this stage just as much as when they open up. There's something about a tightly closed, almost ready to open bloom like that it just gives you hope and makes you feel so good to see that. I don't know what it is, the magic of the garden. But isn't it gorgeous in its almost ready state? And I do have a couple of other peonies down below here that I planted, I think it was last fall. So they'll take a couple of years because I planted them, what do they call it, bare root or with the tuber, just that I purchased from Home Depot. So those will take a little bit of time to come up. And then I also spread another little early bird catmint here. I had so many little clumps that had broken off the main clump in this other garden bed, so I've been spreading those all around, so that'll be beautiful there. We had all different little clumps of early bird catmint that had just broken off, and they were sort of like along, you can see there's actually a little bit on the edge there, just along the edge here, and that's where I picked those from and divided them and just spread them around the garden. And we did finally get this bed situated with more topsoil and mulch, and we did extend it just a little bit on the edge there because I do want to eventually plant another tree over here. I did not move this hydrangea yet. That was on my spring to-do list and did not happen, but I do have intentions to move that hydrangea and then to add some type of a tree. I'm not sure. I was looking at the flamethrower redbud, or I also like willow trees. I don't know if you have any beautiful suggestions. I'm open to some suggestions for some type of an ornamental or a smaller growing tree on this corner here. We did bring our furniture out onto the patio. We did that just in the last week, which always feels so great because one thing that I do love doing is just sitting and relaxing on the back patio. So we have everything all set up there. And we brought out our pots. I have 2 blue pots here. And I have like a little obelisk that has birds on it. You can see little birds on my obelisk. And I have a clematis that is starting to grow. That is a white bloom. I think it's a category 3. I always say category 3. I believe so. I did not keep the tag on this one, but this will bloom up and I will be planting around this clematis. I usually like to do some type of a petunia with some vinca vine or something like that to spill out of these blue planters. So, and I also have another batch of peonies here. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh my goodness. Oh, I just caught a bee here. Just landed on this. Are you helping to open up these peonies, Mr. B? Oh, but they are ready. They are ready to go. And they really look beautiful, the backdrop of this privet hedge. The contrast of the chartreuse color with the peony ready to open up is just beautiful. And then you can see the early bird catmint just peeking out over yonder there. Just a beautiful garden picture. Just a couple other things to show you. Like I said, I'm not going to do a full garden tour right now, just a few things that are looking good in May. But can you see what I'm heading towards? Look at this beautiful allium. Okay, I think these are the gladiator alliums. I'll be sure to put the exact name, but look at that humongous bloom. Let's see if I can reach for it here. Really beautiful and tall. Ooh. Really love that. Really love that allium in the garden. That's the first year that I've planted alliums. Over here by my shed here, I have my neon flash spirea, which you can see this spirea is just a green color right now, and it will bloom out a hot, almost fuchsia pink color that's really beautiful. And you can see my more pansies and violas in my window box. Let's take a closer look at those. I'm going to add to this window box, but in the meantime, they're providing a lot of visual interest. It's getting pretty windy. Well, that is all for my end of May spring garden. And I will be sure to come back very soon with more garden videos and garden tutorials and garden thoughts. In the meantime, I hope you are all enjoying your gardens and just enjoying the end of spring, beginning of summer season. I will see everyone in my next video. Have a great day.